Welcome to the Hosel Rockets podcast, the #1 golf podcast for new product launches, interviews with industry experts, golf trends, and more. Here are your hosts, Jen, Ken, and Bill.
Welcome to Hosel Rockets. I'm Jen.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Bill.
We're all here this week.
It hasn't been happening very much.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like it's been a while since we've all been here. We're going to be taping the whole show from start to finish.
Wow.
I know. It's like we're professionals or something.
We're going to tell what
What?
do we always say we're going to do at the beginning of every episode?
Nothing.
We're going to talk about Jack Burgeroni and tell us what it is.
Yes.
That's right. It's a segment.
Oh my
Woohoo! Okay, so we have Callaway in the studio today.
Yeah.
We have Russ King, our Callaway rep, and he is here to talk about the new, I'm assuming the new Callaway Mavrik.
We are excited about it. It's been out for roughly about
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, and has been doing tremendously well. It's gotten a great response from consumers.
The other thing I'm kind of excited about, and we're going to show it here in a moment, is you were just at the PGA show, and I'm guessing you must have run into your best friend for life, Tiger Woods, who you've played golf with in the past. You guys are best buddies. And
We're as close as this.
yeah,
I think. Yes.
yeah, super close. Sorry, Bill, it sounds like you're on the outs.
Yep.
And he put together a video, a commercial for us, and even though it's not, the original one isn't directly for our sponsor Morton Golf, I think we're gonna share it. I think we're gonna take a quick pause. We're gonna share it with our audience because it's pretty cool.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so here we go. Quick break. Boom. We're just gonna show it because it's awesome.
Head over to Hagen Oaks and grab some Bridgestone golf balls now. Tell them Tiger sent you.
What'd you guys think? That was awesome, right?
It's pretty cool. Anytime Tiger Woods is singing your praises, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Now, what was my first reaction when you basically called me up from Orlando, said, "Hey, Jen, just met with Bridgestone. They shared this super cool thing with me," and I said to you,
Go in and get a second one
For what?
for Morton Golf Sales, our
Yeah.
sponsor.
Yeah.
So, because nothing is ever good enough
Yeah.
when you're married.
That's why he called me first, actually, because he knew I would just appreciate it.
Exactly.
Second.
Yeah.
So
Not, that's super cool, not, wow, that's amazing.
And what was my reaction?
All those things.
So cool.
Yes.
So
Incredible.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Jennifer's was, go get a second one, go back in there again. It was
But
very...
she also said Tiger who?
No, I did
Okay,
not.
sorry.
I did not. So we actually, through our fabulous production department, worked directly with Tiger's people and did have one put together for Morton Golf Sales. We're not going to show the entire thing, but we will show just that very front portion again real fast for us. Are you ready to see it?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Okay, here it is.
Head over to
Morton Golf Sales
and grab some Bridgestone golf balls now. Tell them Tiger sent you.
Okay, so what did you think? That was like legit Tiger, right? So with that, why don't we introduce our first guest today?
Let's do.
All right.
Do we have more than one guest?
Well,
Oh, okay. So
no,
you
we
mean
have-
we're going to introduce our guest?
Our guest.
Russ
Okay.
King
Russ King.
with Callaway.
Yes. All right, go ahead. Anything else we should say about him?
No, he has been the Callaway, Northern California Callaway sales representative. He also oversees Odyssey, so we'll probably see him back in later this spring for that product as well. But has been with them on the better part of 2 decades, probably, maybe even closer to 3
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's
1990
Yeah.
been with them.
all the way back to the Great Big Bertha days.
Yeah.
So he has a great perspective on Callaway golf, and we're excited to hear all about the new Mavrik.
Awesome. All right. One moment, as soon as we snap our fingers, he's going to be right in studio with us, right?
Let's see this magic.
All right. Okay, we're back. I told you, Russ is here.
Wow, with a snap of your fingers.
I know. I'm that good. I'm amazing. Russ, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Russ.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Russ, how long have you been in the golf business?
I've been in the golf business. Thanks for bringing that up. You hit those numbers, Jennifer, but it's been over 30 years, and this is my 28th year with Callaway here
Wow.
in Northern California in the same territory. So, yeah, quite a while.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
That makes you like the third or fourth most tenured Callaway employee, right?
Probably top 5. There's a
Okay.
couple people down at headquarters that have got a few years on me, but my badge number is low, yes.
Okay.
So,
That's
it's been a long
impressive.
time. Yeah, seen a lot of changes over the years.
you're probably pretty good at Callaway trivia, would be my guess then, right?
Yeah, I would hope so after all this time. If there's something you want to throw out at me.
I didn't, but next time you're on, I might. Yeah, that might be a fun game for
That
us to
actually
play.
would be a fun game.
Yeah, pull out some old questions from golf club manufacturing in the 90s and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I thought we'd try a little bit new segment in here before we dive directly into the new product. You brought the new Mavrik to share with us today, right?
Yes, very excited about our new Mavrik launch.
Very excited.
Yeah.
And so I thought, why don't we ask a few questions among all of us and then dive right in.
Sounds good.
All right. So these are dumb questions, just letting you know. They're like Letterman's old stupid pet questions or whatever it was.
Always
So-
been told there's no such thing as a dumb question here, but
Well, you haven't.
You
right?
haven't
Just
listened
wait.
to my
am I allowed to
questions.
speak up if it really is a dumb question?
Yes, yes.
What?
Moving along.
Yeah. What food do you feel best represents golf?
Are you directing that one to me?
I'm trying to do-
They're all to you.
They're
I'm
all
a
to
big
you.
fan of Hostess products, so I don't know if you want me answering that one.
Yeah, go for it.
Huh?
This is clearly defining why you and I have been friends as long as we have right there with your answer.
Man, man after my own heart. Hostess fruit pies, Hostess ding dongs, cupcakes,
I'm a
Twinkies.
rep. I live on the road. Sometimes when you just don't have the time for a nutritious lunch, it's Hostess products.
Wow. All right. Pretty cool. What's your favorite golf course you've ever played?
Pebble Beach,
That's iconic.
automatic.
Favorite movie? All time, doesn't have to be golf. Just
My favorite movie all time is probably Shawshank Redemption.
that's a great book.
Yeah, I think Pulp Fiction might be a close second, but it's going to go Shawshank.
Hat or visor?
Oh. Visor wouldn't give me much protection here. I got to be a hat guy.
Jacket or sweatshirt?
Jacket usually. Sweatshirt will be there in the mix though, but usually jacket first.
And then the craziest thing you've ever done
The craziest thing I've ever done will
that you're
not
willing
be
to admit.
disclosed.
Yeah, I know that you're willing
Yeah.
to admit on a podcast and a
Yeah,
vlog.
No
sure.
comment.
There's going to be a family problem here. Yeah, the craziest thing I've ever done, though, and this just came up with some buddies that we were on a motorcycle ride. We stopped on a bridge up on the Rubicon, up on the backside of Homewood up there, and we went bungee jumping with some Tahoe kids. Yeah, we were probably in our early 20s, and it was an underground, bungee group of guys that took us up on a 260-foot railroad trestle, and we all dove off. And yeah.
Wow.
And
Well,
we
you're still
talk
here,
about-
so
You're-
we
that's
still
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yeah.
tied to the ankle, diving off this bridge into a little creek with hardly any water in it, and yeah, that was high on the scare factor.
That sounds really
So
cool.
that tops my crazy moves.
And you've had some crazy ones over the
I
years
have
too.
that
so
one.
yes.
That one tops them though.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. All right, let's dive. I think we dive in. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk
I
some
have
product.
one question. How have I been on staff with you for all these years and not known that Hostess was part of my program? That's what I want to know. I mean, how did I miss this?
I could have easily brought you ding dongs anytime you wanted, man. I always have an inventory
Forget
in the
the
car.
new clubs. Why
I usually
aren't you
have
just
I usually
supplying
have
me
more
with some-
Hostess products than golf
Okay.
balls in the car. I brought you plenty of golf
You
balls.
have. Yeah.
So
Bill
you know
is
now.
the king of ding dongs.
We need to work on this.
Yes.
Because I miss my fruit pies. But
I'm
anyway.
sorry I didn't have you covered
Okay.
there.
When we were kids, my mom had a cabinet and it was filled in there. And anytime he's come over to our house, that was the first place he would go
Oh, yeah.
visit. So
I went into a little state of depression when that product was eliminated there for a couple of years. And that
Exactly.
was tough for me.
Now they
Yeah.
brought it back and they're a little bit micro sized, but it's okay.
Not quite what
Are
it
they
was
s-
before.
are they-
Yeah,
smaller?
shrunk everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
sad.
trying to make them a little
are you
more
sure
cost
we're just not getting bigger
Well,
and the food's
that's
looking
part of
smaller?
it. Yeah. When I hold up a ding dong next to my stomach, it doesn't.
good stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff.
All right.
So
The
on
Maverick.
product.
On to the
Yeah, let's talk about it.
The Maverick.
The Maverick.
Yeah, we are excited. It's been an exciting launch. We had a tour win just a couple weeks ago with Mark Leishman at Torrey Pines. Xander Schauffele almost won with it at Kapalua, but the product's been really exciting because this is our second product to use artificial intelligence. which was a pretty big commit for us.
Let's
Let's
start there.
Let's dive into that.
With
Yeah.
this computer that's the talk of the town when you're down at Callaway headquarters.
And it's a pretty big deal for the industry. Hence the reason the Mavrik name is on the product, and a lot of people ask me that, was kind of a nod to our engineers who were the first ones to actually go in and invest in technically it's a supercomputer. It's a mainframe supercomputer. It was the first one in the golf industry, and it was an 8-figure investment. I mean, it's a real big deal.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. That's insane amount of money.
It's an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
And you can't just buy the computer. You have to have the team and engineers that are capable of inputting the correct data to get the information you want out of it. It was a real big take, but it has paid off in spades. So that face that we developed last year, the flash face, which, as you guys know,
and for those that are listening to us at the moment, if you want to follow us and go to the YouTube video, Russ has a cutaway version of this driver that has the different parts on it, so you could actually see some of this.
And you can follow us on our YouTube channel, which is hosted on Morton Golf Sales.
Yes.
Yep. But the flash face was a breakthrough in technology for us because it offered us to find ball speed off the center of the face that we would otherwise not be able to find. The computer essentially ran, we could do about 15,000 prototypes with the first generation. This year, after putting more money into it and bringing an outside team, we actually brought an outside team that specialized in supercomputers in to help with the development. It ran for a month and did billions of calculations and actually came up with an improved face this year, which is the big change.
Billions of prototypes. That is the craziest part.
Close to
about
a
this.
million, billions of calculations.
Yeah.
It made virtually almost 1 million prototypes.
Wow.
Where the first generation we went through about 15,000. And the difference was this year we could take into the aerodynamics of the club and find aerodynamic inefficiencies. Sound, we could actually chase a pitch we wanted to make the club sound good. So there were all kinds of things we could do with the computer the second year in that we couldn't do the first year.
15,000 to 1 million.
Yes.
Wow.
In a year.
That's
big jump in improvements. And that was the help of bringing an outside team in that showed us and gave us some guidance on how to use the computer more effectively. But it's such an incredible tool. And there's still, we found that the biggest challenge in the second generation was that the computer exceeded the capability of the material. The titanium we were using, which is a pretty standard 6.4 grade titanium, was failing. So it was getting such good ball speed off center that the titanium was tearing when you got up to tour speeds over 120 miles an hour. And there's a company called FS.
That's when you tested it.
Yeah.
Everything came.
Bill Dixon,
Yeah.
crushing all the faces.
Yes.
So a company down in Los Angeles called FS Precision that specializes in high-strength metal applications, defense, mining, that kind of thing. They actually had a grade of titanium that was much stronger and a lot lighter. And we went to them, and they provided the material for the face and the Mavrik driver. That is a big improvement over anything we've had before.
Looking back, that's kind of like what you guys did with Ruger titanium way back in the day with
That's a
Greg
good
Bertha.
callback.
Yeah.
Hey, trivia's next time
Yeah,
he's here.
sorry.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you.
Ruger
Ken?
titanium.
Yeah.
Can you remember the date of that?
Oh gosh, probably
I'd
90.
say 94.
Yeah, 5.
Warbird was 94, 95.
Okay,
Yeah, very
yeah.
good, Kenny.
Yeah.
So the first titanium driver, that great big Bertha, and we had that cast by Ruger out in Scottsdale. Yeah,
Okay.
in Phoenix, Arizona, back then in
Yeah.
'95.
But yeah, same thing. You guys had to go look outside the golf
To
industry
find a material that was strong enough, to hold up with those thinner faces.
Yep.
So, yeah, so it's really exciting. So we have a new aerodynamic package we call a Cyclone design on the head. We found a little bit of head speed there. But the biggest improvement was the face. The brand new titanium that's lighter, it's more flexible. We found about 5 to 7 yards of ball speed off center over just last year's flash, which was a huge pickup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I know you guys have used the same jailbreak technology in this new wood too. For somebody not familiar with it, maybe give them kind of the lowdown on that.
Yeah, the jailbreak was a big breakthrough for us in general. We knew that we were losing energy out of the golf club through the top and the bottom because there's distortion on all these 460cc heads at impact. Jailbreak was a way to tie the crown and the sole of the golf club together and retain all that energy and direct it back out to the ball. And that was a huge gain in finding lost energy and picking up ball speed. So that's going to be patented technology for us going forward. That'll be in all our drivers, and we're still the only club in your shop that has that jailbreak. So now it's in all the woods. So the fairway woods, the hybrids all have jailbreak and flash faces. So now it's through the whole line.
You guys were, again, every time we look forward, we look back to, you guys were the very first manufacturer to introduce carbon in your woods with the C4 way back when. This one is a multi-material design as well, with this just super ultralight carbon crown. Feel how lightweight that crown is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we call that a triaxial carbon, and it weighs almost nothing. And for the engineers, discretionary weight is a dream. It lets us use the weight in other parts of the golf club.
We show that to Bill too.
Okay, so
MOI.
it's, I would say, about the same weight as this piece of paper that's in my hand.
Yeah, weighs a few grams. Very, very light.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So again, as we're talking about, we talk a lot about the video work, about trying to get weight low and back, and literally the crown weighs almost nothing, and so that's really easy to do with when the top of the golf club weighs nothing.
And so is that what this weight is then?
Yes, that frees up discretionary weight. So the driver in the max head, there's 3 head options in the new Mavrik driver.
Yeah, maybe
And
go
this is
go
the
into
max
that a
that
little
we're-
bit
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
we
3
should talk
different
about
heads.
Yeah, so there'll be a standard head, which along with the Sub-Zero will be our longest, and then a max head, which will be almost like 2 drivers in one. So it'll have some adjustability features and a little higher MOI, but it'll be a little more forgiving than the standard Mavrik. It'll have a 14 gram and a 2 gram weight, and if you put the heavier weight in the heel, it'll give it a draw bias. So for people that tend to come across it or need a little help getting a draw on the golf ball, this would be a better golf club form. You could also move the heavy weight in the back, and it'll make more of a high launch driver. So there's some options there with the Max that we don't have on the standard. But
Yeah, I know there was some discussion about this particular version not having adjustable, sliding weights or anything like that in the back of the wood. You guys in the Max still have the ability to make a draw bias, but you've come out with an entirely new line of woods that kind of accomplish the same thing with the Max.
actually, we have a little more adjustability between offering the standard head and the Max head, and the being able to transpose the 2 weights.
Yeah.
So there's actually a little more adjustability than just having the slide track on the one club
Sure.
between the 2 drivers and the movable weights. So
Bill, have you hit the Max and the standard?
Yeah,
both?
Russ was out here. And we were able to test them. Yeah.
yep.
What did you
Guys
find
like
with
this
your own testing between
Well,
the 2 woods?
The Max is better for me. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean I actually like the shape of it more. It's very confidence inspiring. I think you're gonna be a lot of our customers that are gonna gravitate towards that.
And that's where your studio really comes
Yeah.
into play. It's going to be having the customers come in and take just a couple of minutes to get on TrackMan, and they don't need a lot of time, but we'll be able to find out real quick on their attack path and how they come into the golf ball, which driver's better for them.
Right. And like Kenny was saying, I mean, very successful launch weekend a couple weekends ago. We had, dozens and dozens of fittings.
Yeah.
Of everyone trying that out.
Yeah.
So
And then we have a player version for the more accomplished golfers, or even golfers maybe that are very spinny, called the Sub-Zero, which is a low spin version. So if they're out there testing on your TrackMan, maybe they're having numbers that are close to 3,000. Just going into a Sub-Zero will knock that down to the mid 2s. It takes 300 or 400 cycles of spin off.
Definitely.
Been a real popular club on tour. That's what most of our PGA players are playing.
yeah, and we noticed actually the Mavrik, the numbers on the standard Mavrik, the spin is lower than last year's Flash.
Ginger's last year's
Yeah.
Flash by a little bit.
Yeah,
Yep.
by 2, 3,
Yeah,
400
yeah.
Yep.
CPM.
So our staff is excited about that actually. So
Yep. A little less spinny.
Yep.
Yep.
I know too, Callaway has a very broad selection of no charge kind of exotic shafts too. That's probably worth a mention as well.
Yeah, there's, I think, 25 or 26 no-charge options for upgrade shafts.
Yeah.
And the stock shaft this year will be a Project X Riptide, which I'm really excited about. That'll probably accommodate most applications, but there are quite a few shafts in there by Aldila, even Oban, Ozark. We have a whole bunch in there that are no charge. So
depending on the torque and weight characteristics that you're looking at, I mean, there's so
Can
many
fit
different
almost everybody
choices.
into it,
Exactly
yep.
right. So
without having to spend any more money than the retail price of the club.
Well, I see an Ironhead on there too. This product has a sister golf club that's coming out right now too.
Yes. We've been really fortunate to be the leader in the industry in iron sales for the last few years. Rogue was the best-selling iron for the last 2 years. That one SKU itself, it was a very popular model between the Rogue and the Rogue X. And so the follow-up to that is the Mavrik. And this will actually be the first iron introduced in the golf industry that has used artificial intelligence or machine learning to develop the faces. So I think bang for the buck, this iron is going to be pretty hard to beat out in the marketplace. But yeah, it's each of the iron faces are all individually made. So they all have AI developed processes.
I
The
think
8 iron
it's-
face is different than the 7 iron face, depending on the launch
So
and the spin characteristics
I think
needed.
that's worth diving into a little bit. And typically, when a company is designing a set of irons, they start usually at a 7 or a 6 iron, and then they develop what they want it to look like and feel, and then they make matching irons to go through the rest of the set.
It's essentially the same head through the whole set.
Yes.
And they're adjusted for loft and lie angle.
But
and that's
Callaway
it.
did not do this time. They actually made 8 different irons throughout the set.
Every single iron is different, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, breaking down exactly what the player needs for launch and spin characteristics, as I said, and the faces. The iron itself is a pretty complicated build, as you guys can see here. I mean, we're taking a frame that's stainless steel, and the cup face, which we were the first ones to take the wood technology and apply it to an iron, which was a very difficult manufacturing process and much more expensive than the alternative of just using a single cast head. But these thin cup faces allowed us a lot of ball speed. We had to find a material that made the irons actually feel good because by themselves the cup faces actually feel a little snappy. This is our own proprietary material our engineers came up with called microsphere, which does not dampen any of the energy going through the golf ball at the face, but makes the heads feel like a solid traditional one-piece iron. I mean, it's really changed the feel of our golf clubs.
It's just, and it's squishy. It's
Yeah,
just
it's a
like
really unique material. Any of the other industrial foam products that we found out there that are in use, but we found that they all dampen ball speed. Anybody that's using flexing faces, I mean, it's really a challenge to make them feel good without compromising ball speed. And this was the only thing that we came up with that works, and we have it in all the products now. So the microsphere, cup face, and then this tungsten weight, which now sits in its own cradle. So this changed everything with our irons. The tungsten is a very dense material. Traditionally, it's brittle. You'd only see it on the outside of a mid or a long iron. And we were the first company to figure out a process to actually melt and inject tungsten and be able to control the center of gravity.
Feel how heavy that is.
So now this floating core lets us really control the center of the gravity of the iron, which has been a big challenge. Hence the reason we're able to make stronger lofts and have the same traditional trajectory we had with irons in the past that didn't have the option of an energy core. So it's really changed
lots of the
iron.
traditionalists complain that the reason we're hitting irons longer is because the lofts are so stronger, and to a degree they're correct. But the difference between your last few irons and especially this one is that the trajectory is not different. Where it's not like you're hitting, you're turning a 6 iron into a 5 iron and just stamping six on it anymore.
You're absolutely correct, Kenny.
We're hitting it just as high as you ever did a 6 iron, but the lofts are stronger.
We back in to the lofts.
Right.
So the technology dictates what we have to set
Yeah.
the loft at. Yeah, and that wasn't the case in the past. And there have been companies out there that have made strong lofted irons just to put up good numbers.
Right.
And you're always going to compromise accuracy and forgiveness in that case. And that's not the case at all. Yeah, that center of gravity, that gravity core and the tungsten inside these irons, the lofts are never going to be like they were in the past.
Right.
If we used a traditional, say 48-degree loft on a pitching wedge, it would literally go straight up in the air. So the technology dictates what we have to set the loft, but we base all of our lofts on ball flight.
Part of our fitting process when we're doing it is trajectory off the iron, but also the trajectory that the ball is coming out of the air too. So, I mean, you never want to get into a situation where you're hitting a mid iron and you can't hold a green. And that's for all the right reasons. You guys are making sure that the trajectory on the ball flight on the irons is just as high as it ever has been.
Yep.
So,
Yep. With the appropriate spin characteristics, which
Yeah.
are easier to control now with that flash face too. So
Ken, or Russ, for those listening, how would you describe the look on the back end of this iron or even the Mavrik? I mean, I think in our heads we would think that the backside of this would be smooth and flat, whereas the reality is
it's
not.
hard to describe without
Yeah,
seeing it,
it is
because
hard
really
to
the first time
describe.
I showed everybody cutaways of last year's flash face, it's something they've never seen before,
Yeah.
and it's something that our engineers couldn't have come up with. So that's strictly computer and AI based.
Yeah, I've always
technology,
imagined
but
if you
It's like a
imagine
bubble.
dropping a pebble into the water and seeing the top of the
ripple?
water ripple, and that's kind of what the back of these golf clubs look like. And in the case of the new Mavrik driver, it's a little higher waves around the perimeter, but fairly wavy in the middle. And again,
There's a lot of very unique waves on that.
And it's
I mean,
completely asymmetrical, though. There's
You
different
totally-
metal
There's
put in
no-
different areas. Yeah, there's no
No rhyme or
thinner in
reason.
places and thick
Yeah.
in places.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, with all the testing that Callaway does, they know that the lion's share of mishits on higher lofted woods are going to be more high and out towards the toe, and all of that's put in the part of the calculation.
That's reflected here.
Yeah.
And that's where you get, an AI that's going and doing, I'm not going to say a billion,
Calculation.
calculations on that
calculations
to
to
develop,
get
yep.
that.
Maximum efficiency, really on mishits too, and
Yeah.
helping the golfer that doesn't consistently find the center of the face.
Yeah.
Keeping ball speed, the engineers call it spin robustness, where you're matching the ball speed and spin as close as possible to a center hit on off-center shots.
Yeah.
And that is where that flash and AI technology really helps us on all the products now, on the whole family of Mavrik products. They all have it.
Because the backside of this is definitely not something that you're going to randomly come up with and
No.
say, this is ideal.
Our first time in manufacturing golf clubs that really the engineers have taken a back seat, and a computer has came out and told them the most efficient way to make a part of the golf club. It's pretty interesting,
Yep.
and it's a big change.
I think that's absolutely fascinating, personally.
Yeah.
That is.
I probably want to throw one other thing out there, and I know Chip, your guys' CEO, he is 100% in on R&D. That is first and foremost everything that he believes in, and I know we see it in all the woods and irons that have recently come out. You guys have made a huge investment in balls as well, and I think that's probably worth a mention before we end here as well, with a huge change in your ball plant.
I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
it's one of the parts of our business I'm really excited about. That we had our sales meeting actually at our ball plant, which is in Western Massachusetts in Chicopee, and we were there several years ago, and it looked the same on the outside, but that was about it. When you walked through the inside, it was literally like a brand new plant. We've invested over $50 million into it, and Chip takes a lot of pride in what we've been able to do in a short amount of time in the golf ball part of the industry with Chrome Soft. It's been it's been a shift, and and what's been out there traditionally is harder golf balls. We were able to make a ball with a much different feel, kind of unique in Chrome Soft, with all the performance characteristics of our competitors' balls, and he wanted to take it to a new level, and that was going to require a big investment in our plant. So starting at the beginning of the plant, with the processors we use that are state-of-the-art, all robotics, to the quality at the end of the plant now, with the first three-dimensional x-rays to check for perfection on the golf balls. It was really fascinating to see every single golf ball coming off the line. If they're not perfect, they're checked three-dimensionally, they get rejected. I think we're going to have 6 of those online by May, and we're the first ones in the industry. Most people have used traditionally two-dimensional x-rays, but the new Chrome Soft X have been in development for a while. Chip's goal was to make the same feel in those products, but significantly faster, to kind of set a new bar for performance standard in golf balls. So Chrome Soft will still be a dual core single mantle ball with a thinner cover. That'll be about 5 yards longer than our last one, which is a huge pickup in ball speed and distance. And then the Chrome Soft X, which is a really new design for us. It's a large single core, our fast soft core, dual mantles, 2 different unique mantles with a thinner cover, and it's about 7 yards longer than our previous one. And generally, if you can get a yard or 2 in a perfect test environment with no variables, it's a huge pickup. At 7 yards, it's massive. So it's going to be a much quicker golf ball. Our tour players are excited about it. Xander Schauffele, they've only been a couple that have had the new ball so far. It hasn't come out yet, but we're really excited about golf ball.
Yeah, every single ball is going to be x-rayed off the line going forward.
3-dimensional x-ray. Traditionally in the golf industry, the advanced plants have had a 2-dimensional x-ray, which really only lets you see the ball like a cutaway.
And that's only for like every, in batches. It's not like every
It was
ball
a
is
random
x-rayed.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
it
be,
was really-
if you made a batch of 50 dozen balls, they might check 1 or 2.
You would literally have to have your plant set up like we were able to do, because we tied these x-rays into the finished production. So
Right.
every single ball is able to run off the line and go through these x-ray machines. But if there's not perfect symmetry between the core, the mantle, and the cover, they're rejected. And we got to
that's
physically
incredible.
see it, and there were not a lot of rejections. So the manufacturing process is essentially brand new, with brand new Chrome Soft products coming out of I think it's safe to say is the most advanced golf ball manufacturing plant in the industry now. It's pretty
Yeah.
exciting. So that's going to be a big part of our business going forward.
That's really exciting.
The ERC ball was super popular last year. Is that moving forward for this
ERC
year?
ball will stay in the marketplace going forward. That's been a great golf ball for us. It doesn't have the traditional urethane cover that the high-end player balls have. It's a hybrid cover, which makes it a little more forgiving off the driver. If you're not perfectly square with your driver, with a urethane-covered ball, you will impart a lot of side spin.
Yeah.
And this ball will give you a lot more forgiveness with the driver, and still has the characteristics of the tour ball in the core. So it's a nice, long, forgiving golf ball, and it's priced quite a bit more competitively.
When's the new balls expected out on the market?
So the new ball will come out in March, and then a key part of the new ball technology that was on the ERC ball that I'm glad you brought up, Bill, was the triple track.
Right.
So that triple track alignment has been really big for us. And now it'll be on the ERC ball, it'll be on the Chrome Soft and the Chrome Soft X as an option. You can get a traditional white ball or you can get the triple track. And that's based on a phenomenon called vernier hyperacuity, where your eyes have the ability to focus
All
on
right,
these
so
three
one
lines.
more time for these slow guys here. Say that again.
So vernier hyperacuity
Okay.
is actually, it was something, if you actually Googled it, there's medical books full of it, and your brain and eyes have an ability to just see parallel lines and offset lines at short distances, and it's pretty unique. But it really works, and it's generally inside 10, 15 feet on those shorter putts. But when you can actually take that triple track and line up a putt, almost in every incident, it's an improvement in alignment than doing it without it. And so much so
That's
that we've
been
actually
great.
taken that
Yeah.
technology and applied it to some of our Odyssey putters that are going to come out, as you know.
Awesome.
Triple track.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay, another trivia question for next time.
Okay. I won't remember that
Yeah.
word, but we can have Russ bring it up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you for bringing in all of the new products. As we have mentioned, we've been selling the woods now for a couple weeks, and the response has been nothing short of remarkable from the consumer so far. Nearly every time we're putting it in their hands, they're hitting it remarkably farther than their old driver, no matter what the maker model. So,
yeah, it's great to hear. And
Yeah.
thanks for everything you guys do for making it such a successful launch for us. So, appreciate it. You're always great at getting people into your studio, and yeah, we're looking forward to letting this thing do what it does and get going in the marketplace here. So,
Thanks for being on the show, Russ.
you
Look
bet,
forward to
Jennifer,
having you
Kenny,
back.
Bill,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
thanks, Russ.
All right.
And stay tuned. We're going to have a brief message from our sponsor, and then we will be right back with our Jack Burgeroni experience.
Hey, Bill here. I wanted to pause real quick to thank our sponsor, MortonGolfSales.com. Morton Golf Sales is the #1 online retailer for all your golfing needs. From the newest clubs on the market to the classics that you can't find anywhere else, Morton Golf Sales has the best products and customer service at the lowest possible prices. Want to check out their huge online inventory of clubs, clothing, golf balls, accessories, and save 12% on your first order? Just use coupon code ROCKETS at checkout on MortonGolfSales.com. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Now, back to the show. Mom's Beef Hash has a first name. It's from a Can We See?
But we all have another name. We call it untasty.
We hate to eat it every day.
And if you ask us why, we'll say, 'cause Mama's hash tastes like trash and we should feed it to the dog. Welcome to the Jack Burgeroni Experience.
Welcome to this week's Jack Burgeroni experience, where you might be wondering if it's someone's birthday with all the balloons that we have. Is it someone's birthday?
Well, there's someone's birthday's coming up, but it's not quite his birthday yet. But yes.
It will be before this airs. This is actually Ken's birthday episode.
Oh.
All
there
right,
you
let's
go.
keep going. All right.
Happy birthday, Ken!
Yes, that's not why we have balloons. However, we have discovered another exercise in stupidity, like we did with our Play-Doh golf clubs a
Oh, yeah.
couple weeks back.
Right.
So,
My Cheeto.
yes. So, we had a great brainstorm about reading some of the most iconic Caddyshack movie lines after sucking helium. So,
This can go either way.
yes. So, and before we say that, we probably should just run Jennifer over one more time about her not thinking Caddyshack is the greatest movie of all time, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I don't think Caddyshack is the... Yeah.
Just ran you over with my semi.
Yeah, well...
All right, so
I
who's
stand
going
by it.
first?
Jennifer needs to. Kenny, hand me
I
those
don't
scissors.
know.
I don't know if we can get into this balloon or not.
Okay. So I'm just going to suck on this, and then I say a line, right?
Yes.
And I don't know the lines. Does it matter?
Here. Does she have one?
No, okay, do I have? Okay, obviously I have some.
Oh, you got some lines?
Last time, is it gone? Last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Oh my goodness. Still pretty funny.
Well, you guys aren't even ready to go.
All right, go for another one.
Yeah, I can't get this open.
Okay, here we go.
You take drugs, Daddy? Every day. Good, then what's your problem? I don't know. Wait, you guys still aren't ready.
We're still not ready.
I'm going to get...
You're going to be high.
Can you get high on these or what?
Yeah.
Drop anchor 3 Judge Smale's boat says, "Hey, you scratched my anchor."
Whoa, did someone step on a duck?
Tears in his eyes, I guess, as he lines up his last shot. He's got about 195 yards left. Looks like he's got about an 8-iron. The crowd has gone deathly silent.
Oh, this is your wife, huh? A lovely lady. Hey, baby, you must have been something before electricity. So what? Let's dance.
Cinderella story. Out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper, now about to become the Masters champion.
You're rather attractive for a beautiful girl with a great body.
Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch. How are we doing?
I don't know.
I want everyone to know that this is the very first time that I've ever sucked helium into my lungs and talk like this in
Me
my entire
too.
life.
Ty, what did you shoot today? Is mine still going? I think I'm done.
Wow, that was a great voice.
All right, one more time.
Okay. Ty, what did you shoot today? Oh, Judge, I don't keep score. Then how do you measure yourself with the other golfers? By height.
Beautiful.
Are you guys done?
We're done.
We're done.
All right, so I'm going to let my balloon go.
Mine's deflated.
What about yours, hun?
That's what she said. All right.
Wow. Okay, I have one more thing, because it's President's Day week type of thing but when this launches.
Not quite, but almost.
It will be. Close. Okay.
I know what you're going to ask, and we need to have more than one. Because you have yesteryear, good, the greatness, and you have today's.
Can I ask a question before you go start answering
different
it?
eras, but yes, go ahead.
Okay. Mount Rushmore has...
Of golf.
Of golf. The Mount Rushmore of golf.
Where's that located?
That's what she
Is
wants
it
us. She wants us to carve one out.
Is it in North Dakota also?
No.
Are we going to make it out of Play-Doh like we did the golf course?
No.
Okay.
That's so dumb. You will have gone. You will go bring out something that you've been working on for the last month and then give Bill and I like 20 seconds to build ours.
Probably.
Okay, if you had to choose about 4 iconic golfers, who would you choose? And then Bill's already making it difficult.
Your Mount Rushmore has like 8 heads on it.
Or more. There's going to be, because there were some greats from years ago.
Can we agree on anybody in particular that
3
should be on
people
it?
for sure.
Who?
Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus,
He's on mine.
Tiger
He's on
Woods.
mine. He's on
Yes.
mine. So those 3 all made mine.
Yeah.
So
Without
I would
question.
agree. And then I have 3 more that I just wasn't sure about.
Let's
so
hear
mine
it.
has 6. I have Bobby Jones, Annika, or Babe Zaharis. Because I do feel like women should be represented on this. So I'm not sure. And you were just smiling? What's up with that?
Oh, it was great. I couldn't agree more.
So I'm not sure.
You chicken.
No, Annika.
They were both
So-
exceptionally important to women's golf.
absolutely.
But would
Annika
not
is-
be in the top 4, I don't think.
Well,
You don't think so?
No.
the top. Well, again, Bobby Jones. So you just read 3 names, and Bobby Jones was kind of my 4th that I was thinking. And then, but when you brought up Annika, it's like, oh yeah.
What about Ben Hogan, though?
Yeah, that's why I said we need to have
What about Babe?
10 Mount Rushmores.
She was pretty...
Babe Zaharis was pretty amazing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, when you compare her to somebody like Bobby Jones, There's just not a comparison.
Is there not a comparison?
No.
Really?
Real. Just from an aspect of, him being the first one to bring home the Open Championship, and having parades in his honor.
He won the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
And retired from golf at 28.
Yeah.
Because he achieved everything he was going to achieve. And so he felt. And he also started the Masters, built Augusta National. I mean,
what about Annika? She did.
Quite possibly the best women's golfer to ever live. But I think in the scope of it's going to get me in so much trouble with my wife. So in the scope of golf history, I don't think it scales to what Bobby Jones did. I mean, golf was still very much a small sport compared to some of the other sports like baseball and football. And Jones's Grand Slam, when he won that, it was the first time that it really exposed golf to the masses. I mean, it really was that important.
She's thoroughly unconvinced.
Okay.
I think you better start sucking on this balloon and say all that again in another voice if you're going to be able to go home tonight. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Bill, you had?
I agree with you complicitly. Whatever you decide.
So Bill's coming home with me tonight.
It's not that kind of show.
No. There should be a Mount Rushmore of the greatest male golfers and a Mount Rushmore of the greatest female.
All right, so if that was the case, then, Babe would be on there for sure. Annika would be on there. Nancy Lopez would probably be on there.
Just for what she brought to the game. Because there's people with...
What about Whitworth?
Stronger winning records. Kathy Whitworth I think she still has the most wins, 88 wins on the LPGA Tour.
Yep.
Then you have a lot of the pioneers. That's why you need more than you got to have more than 4.
How big is this mountain range?
It's big. Huge. Okay. Yes.
Appalachians.
Yep. Because you have the pioneers of the ladies that started the LPGA Tour, which Babe, I think, was one of them.
Right. She was one of the founders.
Yeah. Drove around in their cars and, just very little prize money. I mean, they helped, kind of like, Arnold bringing, the game to the masses, increasing the prize money. Without them, the LPGA of today wouldn't be there. So,
if you had to choose Jones or Hogan, who would you choose?
Boy, that's a tough one. Probably have to choose Bobby Jones, personally.
Yeah, that's what I would do, too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, he was on. So we all went with Bobby Jones. So for the guys, it seems like we're all in agreement.
Well, we're leaving out Ben Hogan, Sam Snead.
But are we? Because we all 4 came up with the same 4 people, if we had to come up with it, which was Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, are we all in agreement on that?
That's who I would
Where
say.
and have we ever all been in agreement?
This is the first time in our marriage, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. So, yeah, she's gonna tell me I'm wrong when we're done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
As soon as the audio and visual shut down,
That is not true. Everyone who watches this should realize I don't have any problem
How about
telling you
I
you're
read
wrong
those
on
4
air.
names and she'll interrupt me halfway through and tell me I'm reading them off wrong. So
maybe she'll let you finish if you, like I said, if you put the helium down your. All right.
All right, that's it. That's all I have.
Okay.
All
I
right.
want to thank our audience for putting up with us another week. Thank you for watching us on wherever you're catching us on podcasts, or if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, Morton Golf Sales. We want to thank you for supporting us. Our sponsor, Morton Golf Sales, which allows us to be with you every week. And you can check us out at HoselRocketsPodcast.com.
And we want them to tell us what their Mount Rushmore is, right?
Yes.
That would be really good. Love to hear.
Yeah, so send me an email at jmorton@hagenoaks.com. You can follow me at jen_morton_ on Instagram. And with that, we will see you next week. Bye. Everyone.